Welcome to my painting tutorial channel, Rashko Rajpandari. Color saturation isn't just about brightness. It's a powerful tool that shapes the emotion, mood, and atmosphere of a painting. Whether you want to create a bold, energetic scene or a soft, melancholic composition, adjusting saturation can dramatically influence how your artwork feels. In this guide, we'll explore the best ways to control saturation to enhance the emotional impact of your paintings. Let's dive in. 10 ways to adjust saturation for emotional impact in a painting. 1. Use high saturation for energy and excitement. Bright, intense colors like reds, oranges, and yellows create a feeling of movement, passion, and excitement. These work well in action-packed or joyful scenes. 2. Desaturate colors for a calm and soothing effect. Muted, soft colors like pastel blues, greens, and beiges bring a sense of peace and relaxation, perfect for tranquil landscapes or meditative art. 3. Increase saturation in focal points. Making your main subject more saturated than the background naturally draws the viewer's eye and creates emphasis on key areas of the painting. 4. Use low saturation for a melancholic or nostalgic mood. Grayed out or desaturated colors can evoke sadness, mystery, or a sense of memory and longing. This technique is often used in vintage or cinematic-inspired paintings. 5. Contrast saturation levels for depth and drama. Placing high saturation colors next to desaturated tones creates a powerful contrast, adding a sense of movement and drama to the composition. 5. Contrast saturation levels for depth and drama. Placing high saturation colors next to desaturated tones creates a powerful contrast, adding a sense of movement and drama to the composition. 7. Adjust saturation based on light source. Direct sunlight enhances color saturation, while overcast or diffused light naturally desaturates colors. Adjust your color intensity to match the lighting conditions. 8. Use saturation to indicate emotion in portraits. Highly saturated skin tones can suggest warmth, excitement, or health, while cooler, desaturated tones can indicate sadness, sickness, or a dreamlike state. 9. Experiment with layering and glazing. Adding thin layers of saturated or desaturated glazes can help you build depth and control the emotional impact of your painting. 10. Desaturate shadows for realism. Shadows naturally contain less color saturation than highlights. Reducing saturation in shadow areas creates a more believable and cohesive composition. By carefully adjusting saturation, you can create a painting that not only looks visually compelling but also evokes a strong emotional response from the viewer. Experiment and see what works best for your artistic style. Increase saturation in focal points. One of the most effective ways to draw attention to the main subject of your painting is by increasing color saturation in the focal point. This technique enhances contrast, creates visual impact, and makes your painting more engaging. Let's explore how you can use saturation effectively to guide the viewer's eye. 1. Understand the power of saturation. Saturation refers to the intensity of a color. Highly saturated colors are vivid and energetic, while desaturated colors appear muted and calm. By making your focal point more saturated than the surrounding areas, you instantly create emphasis on your main subject. 2. Use desaturated colors in the background. To make your focal point stand out, keep the background and less important areas more muted. This creates contrast between the vibrant focal point and the softer surrounding tones, drawing the viewer's attention naturally. 3. Layering for maximum impact. Instead of applying a highly saturated color all at once, build it up gradually with layers. This technique adds depth and makes the color appear richer without overpowering the painting. 4. Combine saturation with value contrast. Increasing saturation works best when combined with value contrast. A bright, highly saturated color next to a deep shadow creates a striking effect, making the focal point pop even more. 5. Be mindful of color harmony. While increasing saturation, ensure that it fits within the overall color scheme of your painting. Overusing intense colors everywhere can reduce their impact, so keep your focal area the most vibrant while maintaining balance. 6. Use warm colors for extra attention. Warm colors like red, orange, and yellow naturally attract the eye more than cool colors. If your focal point needs extra emphasis, increase saturation in warm tones to enhance visibility. 7. Glazing for a vibrant finish. A great way to boost saturation without making colors look artificial is by using glazing techniques. Apply thin layers of transparent, saturated color over dry paint to enhance luminosity and richness. 8. Adjust saturation based on mood. A highly saturated focal point adds excitement and energy, while a more muted focal point creates a soft, dreamlike effect. Choose your saturation levels based on the mood you want to convey in your artwork. 9. Use saturation to create movement. Gradually increasing saturation along a path guides the viewer's eye through the painting. This is useful when leading attention toward a dynamic focal point, such as a figure in motion or a dramatic sky. 10. Avoid oversaturation. While vibrant colors are eye-catching, too much saturation everywhere can make a painting feel overwhelming. Keep the highest saturation reserved for your focal point while allowing other areas to remain balanced and subdued. By strategically increasing saturation in your focal points, you can control where the viewer looks and create a more dynamic, engaging composition. Experiment with saturation levels, layering, and color placement to bring your paintings to life. Ways to avoid oversaturation in a painting. Color saturation is a powerful tool in painting, but too much saturation can make your artwork feel overwhelming, unnatural, or visually chaotic. Mastering how to balance bright and muted tones will help you create more harmonious and professional-looking paintings. Use saturation selectively. Instead of using highly saturated colors everywhere, reserve them for key areas like the focal point. This creates contrast and guides the viewer's eye without overwhelming the painting. 2. Balance bright colors with neutrals. Pairing muted or neutral tones, like grays, browns, and desaturated blues, with saturated colors helps maintain harmony and visual rest, making the bright colors stand out more effectively. 3. Adjust saturation based on depth and distance. In real life, colors lose saturation as they recede into the background. Reduce saturation for distant elements to create depth and atmospheric perspective. 4. Mix your own colors instead of using them straight from the tube. Pure colors from the tube are often too intense. Mix them with their complementary colors or a touch of gray to create richer, more natural tones. 5. Use a limited color palette. Too many saturated colors can clash and feel overwhelming. Choose a limited palette and work with variations of a few colors to keep your painting cohesive and balanced. 6. Let some areas be muted for contrast. If everything is vibrant, nothing stands out. Use desaturated or low saturation areas to allow the eye to rest and create contrast with more saturated sections. 7. Control saturation in light and shadows. Shadows tend to be cooler and less saturated, while areas hit by strong light appear brighter and more vibrant. Adjusting saturation based on lighting will create a more realistic and dynamic composition. 8. Test your painting in grayscale. Take a photo of your painting and convert it to black and white. If everything looks equally intense, you might need to reduce saturation in certain areas to create better contrast and visual hierarchy. 9. Gradually increase saturation with layers. Instead of applying highly saturated colors all at once, build up intensity gradually using glazes or thin layers. This gives you more control over the final look. Thank you for watching.